Oh, shoot.
All right, guys, welcome, everybody. Special call today, very, very special call. In light of everything that's been going on, you guys know we've been making available to you guys in the community what we call prop firm automation. So the opportunity to, as we say, level the playing field. All right, get past your phase one and your phase two, so that you can do what? You can take your time, practice proper risk management. All right, take your time, scout whatever your strategy is, and actually take your time in trading in a live account versus having to feel the pressure of meeting a goal. Or is that an echo? You guys hear that echo?
I heard a little bit of a glitch, but it's fine now.
You're good now, Nate. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Good deal. So you guys, so like we talked about, the whole idea of this program was to give you guys a fighting chance. You guys know the statistics. We talked about it. Literally 4%, 5% of people actually pass a prop firm account. All right. So the goal is you guys have software, you guys have education, you guys have tools, you guys have understanding of how the markets work. And we want to even the playing field and give you opportunity to get to a live account so that you can take your time and reach the goals that you want to reach. So if you only make 3.5%, 2%, 5%, 12%, all right, you don't have to feel the pressures of trying to do that within 30 days or within 60 days. All right. And then of course the rules are there from a proper risk management standpoint of the drawdown daily and the max drawdown that you got to stay within. But that's the whole gamut of this program. Yeah, we've run into some hiccups, which again, were unforeseen on our end. Every company that we work with has had, other than the last one, has had payouts. All right. And the last one we cut very quickly. Only 9 people signed up, and we're not worried about that one because everybody's is having no issues, on that prop firm. But they're very new. But all the other prop firms, they had payouts. Next Step Funded, First Class Forge Funds, all had payouts. Customers have been paid out. So you guys have seen people in the chat that didn't blow accounts that actually got paid out. I think this week we had over $15,000 in payouts for at least those who were willing to share what their payouts were. And then prior to, we've had payouts in the previous months. So we're here trying to do our due diligence. All right. We've come across a firm who is willing to put their names on the line from the stance of being able to actually show their face, come talk to the community, explain why their rules are different and how it's there to protect not only you guys, but also themselves. All right, kind of give you guys a sneak peek. I don't really say it's a sneak peek, but a look underneath the hood to find out, why companies like First Class Forge Funds has failed and what they're doing different to ensure that they will succeed, but then they will also ensure, that they are put in a position to make sure that you can get a withdrawal as long as you are abiding by the rules and you are not there to finesse the system, as we talked about prior to, which a lot of people have done. So without further ado, I'll pass it on to Samuel and Tim and Johnny. They're with a prop firm called VST. I will drop the link for them in the chat so that you guys can have, go ahead and, while you're listening, take a look at the website and their package deals. Very similar like everybody else. And so with that being said, I'm gonna pass it over to you, Samuel, Tim, and Johnny. Appreciate you guys.
And real quick, Nathan, before you drop that link, it should I'd suggest just having them click on the link in our bio on our Instagram, because we're going through a domain transfer. So the website's on visionstartrades.co, and any hour here it's going to get switched to the .com address. But thanks for the introduction, Nathan. My name is Samuel Catala, and I'm the founder at Vision Star Trades. And then I got my co-founder Tim Hutter in the call, and then Johnny, he's had a risk department. I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown on, what we're doing here, why we have some of these rules set up, and just take any questions and I'll answer them on the spot for you guys. But just moving forward, so just to give you guys a quick brief, rundown on just how we're gonna start this thing in the first couple months, is we're allowing these service providers like Nathan, who passes challenges for people, to bring in volume and a bigger amount of traders. But our main goal isn't quantity per se, it's quality, which is why our rules are a bit tighter than usual. We start off with a 65% split. It goes up 5% each month, and then caps at 90%. And then we have some payout withdrawal rules, such as, you know, no more than 10% a month on certain accounts. Some accounts have 7% a month, which you can see in the payout structure. But how we're running things, our main goal, our long-term vision for this is, you know, we're actually starting up a hedge fund. So our main reason behind the prop space is finding quality traders, people who know what they're doing. They're not just here for a couple payouts and then leaving on to the next thing, or, you know, just to hedge accounts and get a quick payout, quick cash grab. That's not how we're trying to build our business, because as you guys could see with First Class and all these other firms that came up, it doesn't really end too well for them. And like I told Nathan, the last thing you guys want to be looking for in a new firm is, you know, starting at 80% split, withdraw as much as you want, because it's just unrealistic. The numbers don't add up, right? So we're trying to run a whole A-book prop firm here. And the only way to do that is by finding quality traders. And for the quality traders who want to come on, they don't have an issue with our tighter rules, because they only last for a few months. And then after that, the handcuffs come off, is what Nathan mentioned last night, right? And that's exactly what happened. So having that said, I just hope, you know, that could communicate to you guys and you could understand it a bit better as to why our rules are the way they are. But, you know, it's not overly strict to a point where it's undoable. It's still very doable. For traders that actually want longevity, this is the place to do it, because what we do is on the third month, we start A-booking traders. So that means when they make money, we make money, right? When they lose money, we lose money on the third month. After that, as they go on, if they're consistently profitable, that's when we take those traders, bring them over to our hedge fund, and then we have a pool of investors that back them with the money. So, and those traders, if they're at the hedge fund, they're never trading less than anything under $1 million. It's $1 million and up, 90% profit split. We can even afford to do 100% profit split at the hedge fund, because our investors, they're leveraging way more than what the trader actually sees on his account. So we can afford to pay those traders out. So if you're looking for long term, this is definitely the place to do it. You start small, but then we work you up, we build you up, and it's realistic. You know, we don't want to make promises we can't keep, you know, because like we could sell something to you guys, say, yeah, come on board, 85% split off the bat, pay out, you know, request that whenever you want, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And we don't pay out. You know, I'd rather take heat for having a bit tighter of a regulations than, you know, not paying traders out. So that's kind of our long-term vision. That's all I could think of off the bat that I really wanted to communicate to you guys. That's important. But if any of you have questions, I'm here on the call. I'll gladly answer them. If anybody wants to ask any questions regarding any rules, how we pay people out, what's going on in the back end, I'm more than happy to explain that.
Let me just run through the rules for everybody, so everybody can kind of understand and give a little education. So first of all, guys, you mentioned A booking and B booking. All right. So with prop firms, your FTMOs of the world, your my force funds of the world, most of the traders on there are B book traders, which means they're trading on a demo account, which means that they're only able to withdraw money because everyone else is failing, and so they're using failed challenge money to take those traders out. After about 90 days, most of those big time prop firms will move the consistent trader over to A book, which is the real markets. So now they're making real money in the markets, and that profit split, 80, 20, 70, 30, whatever it is a real profit split, because now they're making money in the real markets. That's how prop firms work. Most prop firms, for those who don't know, have been doing the B book, because guess what? Most have been failing. It's been some issues with the HFT because now everybody's passing and they're trying to finagle the system. All right. So real quick on the rules, so you guys can understand the rules at length here. If you go with the passing service, so the service that we're talking about is a instant funding service. There is no HFT. All right. No HFT anymore. Again, they are partnering with ACAP. ACAP does not allow HFT. And so they're going with what's called a instant funding. As Sammy calls it, it's a cheap version of instant funding. As you guys know, some prop firms offer an instant funding, but it's more like it caps out at like 50K. It doesn't allow you to go up to the 100, 200K. And they charge you 5 times what the normal rate is. So for example, like a 50K account may cost you $2,500, but you get an instant access to live money. All right. Here, similar thing, but it's based off of the regular challenge. They're going to pass the challenges, phase 1 and phase 2 for you, like the HFT automation would have. They're going to do it within 3 to 5 days. All right. So the timeline is 3 to 5 days. All right. You'll go through both phase 1 and phase 2. So for the most part, within a week, you'll have access to your live credentials to actually trade live. Now, if you go through the service, all right, there is what's called a 25% consistency rule. All right. Meaning that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sammy, based on our conversation, you cannot have one trade that makes up 25% of your overall account. So if you got a $100,000 account, which most of you guys typically purchase, you can't have one trade at $25,000. Is that correct?
Sorry to cut you off, Nathan. Yeah. So you can make a trade worth 200% if you want, but the consistency rule states, right, if you make 25% or over on a single trade, you're gonna have to do that 5 times consistently before you can withdraw from all that profit. So it's to prevent against those guys who like to hedge accounts, buy multiple accounts and then, one buy, one sell, and they just over leverage. So 25%, you'd have to do it 5 times over before that's eligible to be withdrawn.
All right. So that means guys use proper risk management for the most part. Don't try to game the system. All right. We're not here to game the system. All right. That's what causes all these issues. You guys are trying to do it the right way. I don't know anybody in our community who isn't. And it's those who are doing it the wrong way that are causing issues for the rest of us. Going through this past service as well. Number one, I forgot the number one rule is just like normal, you will not get your refund. So your refund you will not get once you go live. So you don't get a refund. Everyone knows that. It's going to be 42 days until your first payout. All right, 42 days before you get your first payout when you go live. And then after that, you get a payout every 15 days. All right. Profit split starts off at 65%. All right. 65% profit split. And then you add 5% every month that your account is live until you reach what? 90%. All right. And it stops at 90.
Yeah.
Now withdrawal limits, and this is just for the first 90 days. After 90 days, the handcuffs come off. So this is why here's what to ensure you, to ensure payouts. Number one, to ensure that you're not going to get the riffraff. All right. This rule here, this withdrawal rule, is going to keep a lot of the riffraff out because they're not going to see opportunity to make any money quickly. They want to make money day one. So the withdrawal limit is on a 200K account. All right. You can only withdraw 5% max, which is 10K every month, the first 3 months, correct?
Of the total balance. Yeah.
The total balance.
The total balance. Each month. Correct. So the first 3 months. Yeah.
So which means to get even a 10K payout at 65%, you'd have to do like $16,000 in profits, about 8%. And then but the max you can take out is 10K. No matter how much money you can make, the most you can take out on a 200K account is only 10% max each month for the first 3 months. 100K account, 7% max for the first 3 months. And then all other accounts is 10% a month for the first 3 months. After 3 months, then, if you can scale up even more, you can make even more. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said before, I mean, when I originally started the firm, I think what I wanted to do was start at 80 and then it was 10 a month until 95 or something like that. But, after I explained my vision to my risk management department, that's when they implemented these rules because like Nathan mentioned, it's just going to weed out people who are just looking for a quick cash grab. We're really, really, really wanting traders to show us that, they're able to manage the risk properly. They're able to take good trades, stay consistent, etc. And this will kind of enforce that, So for anybody who's actually thinking about longevity, these rules. I mean, this should be a breeze to them. And then 3 months, they're good to go.
And so it's done this way, guys, because the first 90 days you're B book, and then after B book, you show the consistency, then you qualify to go A book. So it's just another way of qualifying you to go into the markets with real capital. And then after that, Samuel, what's the what is the timeline after the first 3 months to essentially, potentially get to the to $1 million with the
Yeah.
actual hedge fund side?
Yeah. So that's with the hedge fund. With the hedge fund, I kind of started that on my own, but my other partners are still involved in that. So I'm putting up, I guarantee them. So what happens is they go through an evaluation with the hedge fund, and that takes a few months, but they get paid for everything they make on that evaluation. And then on the fourth month, they get issued $1 million, no less. And by the fourth month, we're pushing investors behind them, et cetera, et cetera. But on the fourth month, if we can't find an investor to pair them up with, I'm fronting my own money, my own drawdown limit for that trader, right? So I'm reaching into my pocket, issuing the funds to that trader so I can, because I guaranteed them $1 million plus on the fourth month. So it's really about, having a good track record while you're trading at our prop, because you're constantly getting watched by us, and or for people who are that confident, they can just straight up come to our website and apply, because there's a page called private account holders. They can apply, we'll interview them, get to the bottom of their track record, etc., and then they'll be on their way to the evaluation right off the bat. But the best way to do it is just being consistent, really consistent on the prop itself. And also, another thing I wanted to bring up, Nathan, that you forgot to mention was the rules for instant funding accounts are different. And the rules for having an account manager is different too. We don't just allow any account managers. You can't just get an account manager, say, hey, can you manage my VST account? The way we actually structure that is we cut specific deals with certain account managers. So not every account manager gets approved. We need to talk to them one-on-one, discuss how they're operating, see if it's in our best interest, because account managing accounts are a book off the bat, and I put my own money up for that. So that's not even the firm's resources. I'm dipping into my own pockets because it's a bit of a risk, and the risk department doesn't like that, but I do, because it's worth it to me because of the way I construct these interviews. So account managing allowed if the account manager talks to us and we cut a deal with him. Instant funding, 80% split off the bat, payouts on demand. Same with account managing, payouts on demand. The only things that are a bit tighter is if you're coming through a pass your prop service and then you're trading yourself, or you're just coming and you're trading yourself, because those are the two sections of the firm that are on the A-book side. So
good, man.
Yeah,
Nathan, man. Can you show your face?
Oh,
yeah.
It hasn't been going this whole time?
Yeah, I sent you a message to kind of keep it off the call, but now, let me go ahead and say something.
Wait, how about now? Is it good now? No, this whole time it hasn't been on.
No, sir. There it is.
It was on at the beginning, but
yeah, the beginning, before we start recording.
Oh, that's my fault.
Don't be ashamed of the turtleneck, man. Don't be ashamed of the turtleneck, man. Be debonair.
No, I'm not. I'm not ashamed of the turtleneck, brother.
Yeah,
is it good? Is it good now though?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, okay. That's my bad, guys. My bad. All right. But yeah, you guys caught what I said though. So we're gonna have so the rules are just a bit tighter for if you're coming through a pass your prop service, or if you're just coming on by your own challenge, passing yourself. Account managing, instant funded, those rules are different. Those payouts are on demand. There's no withdrawal limits. There's no nothing, because those are both B-book side or A-book side. Sorry.
Now we haven't talked to the community about account management. So you guys heard it. We haven't even talked to you about it. That was a surprise. We were going to speak later. So he kind of spoiled the surprise. So we will coordinate the account management later, so that for those who have an account can have the opportunity to have their accounts managed. And like I said, we will announce what that looks like, at a later date, for those who actually get an actual account.
Yeah.
So just an added bonus, when the right team.
Yeah, and just so there's absolutely no misunderstanding, that doesn't mean you can just come in and just go operations, and that person has to reach out to us directly, and we have to approve of them first, because if they're just doing it randomly, that's when it affects the prop in a negative way, right? And we were initially going to just ban account managing in general, because that's what takes down a lot of prop firms, but I kind of had the mentality of, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's exactly what I'm doing with that. And I'm just making sure I'm aware of each one that comes through. And we're actually making money off of the guys that do, instead of, losing to their schemes. So, yeah, if you're looking for that, yeah, Nathan will definitely have a talk with you guys about that at a future date. Nathan, were you continuing on something, or do you want me to take the floor still?
Yeah, you take the floor. I don't have any other questions. Like I said, we went through the rules.
Okay.
The only other rule,
I just didn't.
that was it. You went over that extra rule.
Okay.
So.
Well, I wanted to, yeah, just say about the hedge fund side, because sorry, we're getting a lot of questions. I didn't even realize. I'll answer those in a second, guys. About the hedge fund side, like I said, the whole purpose to me founding this prop in the first place was to grow this fund. So I really, 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 if you know that you have potential, if you know that you can be a long-term profitable trader, we'd love to have you, because those are the guys that we make money off of. And that's why there's actually been a lot of people off of FTMO's leaderboards that came to us. And there was one guy who was, number one in the world. If you go to Instagram, you can see his Instagram. I posted his certificate. He came over to us because we're actually for those types of traders. So if anybody in this call has any confidence in themselves to that extent, yeah, like we'd love to have you. I can start taking
questions. That right now. I'm definitely going to go for that million. So it sounds like 7 months then, 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
3 months with the pass through, and then 4 months with the after the pass through. So about 7 months to get to the million.
About 7 months, but bro, in all honesty, like I just say that because I'm under promising and trying to over deliver. But in reality, if somebody's that good, like me, I'm the risky guy in our partnership. Like out of us three, I'm the risk taker. So if I see a guy who's like absolutely killing it for 4 or 5 months straight, I probably wouldn't be able to help myself, but reach out to that person and be like, yeah, let's start your evaluation at the fund, or and just give them a 2 or 3 month evaluation. It's all about how the trader performs, really. But I just give those timelines because that's just like a basic, bare minimal that we'll look for, if we're unsure of someone or whatnot. But yeah, 100%. If you guys want to go for that, by all means, because that's where we make most of our bread. So, and Nathan, I wanted to start taking some questions because I saw a few people. I just don't know how to.
I was gonna start going through the questions myself and then asking for you. So, we explained between A book and B book. A good shot at ourselves. Are you a real money prop firm? So we talked about that, guys. First 90 days will be demo. If you are consistent for 90 days, then you get on to real money. So you have to show consistency to get to the real money. All right. So they're using a hybrid model. So in the beginning, not real money. After 90 days, real money. And then even a little after that, bigger money with the bigger real money opportunities. If you have the consistency and the performance, with the hedge fund. EAs. Yeah. So question, last question. Well, there's 2 more questions here. Questions about EAs. So talk about that.
Yeah, EAs, you'll see this in rules and regulations. So we do not have a problem with EAs. There are a few banned strategies that we do have a problem with if those EAs are using them. But the only risk with EAs that you have to be aware of is that if they're a market bought EA, and then there's various individuals using that same EA on our platform, what our system is going to do is flag you as like, okay, this guy's an account manager or he's getting his account managed, and we're not aware of it. So that's when we reach out to you. We don't ban you off the bat. That's another thing I really wanted to mention to you guys, is that we'll never just be, accepting HFT one day, then 3 weeks later, we're like, hey, we're not accepting HFT anymore. Everyone that used it is banned, right? We're just going to reach out to you. Even if you're using a market bot EA and you happen to violate a copy trade rule or an account managing rule because it's market bot and multiple people are using it on our platform, we'll reach out to you, say, hey, these couple payouts that you used with this, they were copy trading, whatever. They're not available to get paid out, but you can still continue on your live account. Just don't use this EA, right? So it's always a risk with market bot EAs. Right now we're a new firm, so odds are you probably get away with it for a couple months, but it's at your own risk. I'd only suggest using EAs that you own, or you and a couple of guys that and that's that.
Sound good. Sound good. All right.
Any
Are the types
next,
of EAs?
yeah.
Are there certain types of EAs that are banned?
This would be Johnny's department, really. All I know is that grid trading is banned, arbitrage, martingale. Johnny, if there's anything you need to add. I don't know if you're still in here, but those are the three strategies that I know are banned. So as long as they're not using that, they should be fine. But you'll have to double check in our description. It's all there. It's all there under trading news and banned strategies.
No, that
Hey, Johnny. I think his internet's not really working right now.
Okay, no worries. We can always answer these questions later on.
Yeah.
You guys heard, the standard, no grid trading, no martingale. All right. Johnny's trying to talk, but can't really hear him there.
Yeah. His connection's usually like.
Hey, you could send him a message. Yeah, whatever information to send to you, and you can just relay to us.
I just did. I literally just texted him.
Okay. So the next question is on 500K, it doesn't show price. It just shows max allocation. What is there a cost for and how do we purchase the 500K account?
So 500Ks are no longer just purchasable off the bat. How it works is once you reach 500K in total capital, you're able to reach out to us and then request to have your account merged, and then we can do that for you. And that might be a week process to merge those. But you can't merge accounts if you're at 400K, 300K, only if you're at 500K total. So that's how it works. And you're not allowed, because what people try to do on our pre-launch is they try to kind of finesse that rule by buying 500K worth of accounts and having the challenges traded all at the same time and then merging it on day one. So, we have a rule that states you can't take more than one evaluation at a time to prevent that. So, once you have 500K max allocation, you can reach out to a customer support and get those merged.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Next question is, can you take trades overnight? Yes, guys. If you look at the website, overnight you can trade with news. You can trade on the weekends. All right.
It's the thing changed. Sorry, just to cut you off. The one thing that we did change is for the first 90 days, it's high impact news that we're not going to allow 5 minutes before or closing the trade, and 5 minutes before opening or closing the trade. You get what I'm saying? And like I want to mention again is if you're to violate that rule, you're not going to be kicked out and terminated. And, we're just simply going to reach out to you and say, hey, you violated this, just don't do it again,
So soft breach is what you called it, right?
Yeah, it's a soft breach. It's a soft breach. That's what it's. The only two rules you're going to instantly get violated for are max loss, max daily drawdown. Those are the only two things that can get you actually banned right off the bat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your withdrawal process review automatic or all manual?
So, okay, this is actually, I'm glad you asked that because this is something I kind of wanted to touch up on. So we originally, during the pre-launch, we had our dashboard installed for MT4, and then there was a problem with MT4 servers. Even with other platforms, they experienced some issues with MT4. So we have to hold off the dashboard for a couple of weeks with MT5 and 4. And then in about 2 to 3 weeks from now, max, we're gonna have the dashboard client portal ready. And then from there, you can make a withdrawal, just request it from your backend. We'll take maybe 24 hours to approve it. It gets approved, and then it's issued. But as far as automatic, I think that's what you meant by withdrawing from the backend. But our backend right now won't be available for at least a couple of weeks. And there's also, that's another thing too. So our backend, also today we just implemented this. We're going to implement this literally in a few hours from now, because we've been only accepting crypto because it's such a high risk industry and a lot of credit card processing companies don't work with prop firms. But we did land a deal with a credit card processing company. So that's going to take another 2 to 3 weeks to set up. So in the meantime, we're gonna have PayPal available as an option. We can send you the invoice if you want to pay with credit, debit. But for right now, those are the two things that we're waiting on for the next 2 to 3 weeks. The back end for withdrawing payments and the dashboard. And the second thing is paying with debit/Visa.
Good deal. Good deal. Next question is what's the drawdown and leverage?
Daily drawdown 5%, leverage is 1 to 100.
And the max drawdown is
1 to 100 is
right?
yeah. 10% max loss.
Okay. All right. Someone asked if you could
Go
explain. Oh, so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna ask what the next person asked.
Oh yeah, next question is, can you explain the consistency rule again? Example, taking trades from 1 lot to 10 lots in a week as an example.
Taking trades from 1 lot to 10 lots in a week. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not, the consistency rule isn't about, it's not a lot size issue. The issue is, okay, are you a gambler and are you gonna make 25% of the starting account balance or more in a single trade? And if you do that, all we want to see is that, okay, you started on a 100K account, you made $25,000 in one trade. That's 25% of the starting account balance. We want to see that, okay, can you do this 5 more times? If you can do it 5 more times, make $25,000 or more on 5 more trades, then those payouts will be available. There's nothing more, nothing hidden with that rule. It's pretty straightforward, but if you still don't understand it, I could try break it down again. There's no issues with that.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Next question is, so how do we be funded instantly and have an account to trade with? That'll be through us, guys. We will make that link to get access to that available. We'll send that link out to you guys, once the call is over with, for those who want to. Question here, looks like Johnny already responded to it. But the question, the website states max loss is locked in at 10% of your account balance. It is based on the funds that the firm provides, or is based on high watermark despite how much profit the account has grown by. And Johnny put in here, explain this further, or it's based on high watermark despite how much profit the account. Okay, so he wants to explain that part.
Yeah.
So Johnny, what he was saying, so there are some prop firms that will base their drawdown max, drawdown on just the account balance. So if your account balance is 100,000, you can't go below 90K. Then there's some that will actually trail it. So if your watermark is, if your account balance is at, let's say 110, then now your drawdown is 10% of the 110. So everybody has their own variations of that. Watermark, I believe, is a term that I want to say FTMO and MFF, my Forex funds, use very often. But yes, you just want to know, how does your max drawdown work, for you guys? Is it working out the balance of the overall starting balance, or what?
Yeah, so max loss, that means, okay, so let's say you start on 100, or you start on a 200K account, your max, or 100K account, your max loss is 10%. So that's $90,000. You cannot go anywhere below $90,000. So if you're at $91,000, your daily drawdown resets. As soon as your equity or balance touches even $1 lower than 90 grand, that's when you violate the max loss rule. If you make 150 grand, so 50% of the account, then your max loss is still at 90 grand, right? And so for our instant funding options, there's actually no daily drawdown limit. So if you really run away from the max loss, you have all the room in the world to leverage all that space, and it's not trailing. And same goes.
Say that again. Say that again for the people in the back. So with the instant funding, there is no daily drawdown.
No, it's just max loss, because it's 100% A-book. So when you're making money, we're actually making a lot more, right? So, and it's the same thing with the traders that come and trade for the hedge fund. So when they get issued that $1 million account, there's just a starting max loss, and then we have trading periods. So, maybe we'll do a 60-day trading period for this guy. So every 60 days, we'll pretty much force him to withdraw everything from his account that he made, so he can start back at an even ground of $1 million. So that's when we bring in new investors and say, okay, but yeah, there's no daily drawdown limit for clients at the hedge fund, for instant funded accounts, and for some account managers that I cut deals with. There's no daily drawdown. There's just max loss. But yeah. So and it's not trailing. So you could really.
When you say no daily, when you say no daily drawdown for instant funding, is that during the 90 days they're B book, or does that start when they go A book?
No, it starts right when they get able the money for their drawdown. So whatever their drawdown is what they're paying, right? So we literally have nothing to lose. So in that sense, we can just let them do whatever they please. That's why payouts are on demand. It's literally a live account, at that point. That's just being traded on our platform. And it's good that way because then we can kind of scout that trader. And I mean, just to put it into perspective for you, like we have one fellow who's buying I think 70, I don't know how many instant funded accounts, a lot, paying 5K each. So because he's paying 5K for each, each maximum loss limit per account is $5,000 maximum loss limit. So no daily drawdown. If he really runs away from that max loss, his daily drawdown would technically be whatever he made, So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I hope you guys could understand that concept.
Sounds good. And we'll continue to communicate to the community so they keep it clear. Next question was around, if we have multiple accounts, can we use a copier to trade one and copy to the other two, if they're personal? Johnny responded, he said, you need to inform us. Yeah. Otherwise, the system will flag you. And then Johnny did respond about the EAs, guys. No grid trading, no martingale, no over hedging. Now, with the grid trading, I've got a bot myself. It doesn't take entries based on the grid trading, but it what's the word I'm looking for? It utilizes quarter points, all right, to manage the to handle the trade management. Is that an issue, or is it more, or are you talking about grid trading from actual grid trading bot that's making its entries off grids?
Johnny will definitely have to clarify that. I don't want to. I know the answer.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I don't confuse anybody on that because that's.
Hey.
Yeah, he's trying to talk.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh my gosh! Awesome.
Clear as mud.
Apologies for the internet. So in terms of grid trading, am I fluent in my signal, or is it too bad?
We lost you, man.
The internet's. Yeah.
I'll get with you, Johnny,
really
man,
bad,
and I'll get those questions around the EA. That way I can pass them on to the community. We'll go down these questions real quick so we don't spend too much time, guys. Can you briefly explain the HFT parameters? There is no HFT, guys. There is no more HFT. The process is being done on their side. So we're not having to worry about anything. There is nothing being traded on your account. They will take care of everything on the back end to get you from phase one, through phase 2 into your live account. All right. So don't worry about it. There is no HFT. Can I buy challenges with debit card? So we just talked about that. Some firms say having a greater lot size by saying 10% or 15% at a different price point. Okay, got you. So some firms are making the change. A lot of people that come out and use a large lot size and start using as much as 0.1. So they'll make a big trade and then they have to trade the minimum trading days and they use like a 0.1. So that's what they call their consistency. You have to trade with a consistent lot size or something with a small variation. Do you have anything like that? So for example, if I have an account and I use a 10 lot, I make 4,000 on a trade. And then for the rest of the month, I'm just taking 0.01 trades. Is that an issue?
No, I mean, no, that's pretty ridiculous. It's consistency, bro, is just has to do with the fact of, it's more a balance issue than a lot size issue, it's I've seen other firms do it, but it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I can see that to some extent, with 0.1 lot sizes because, they're just trying to get their first payout or whatever it may be. But as far as consistency, we only clarified about the 25% of your starting account balance. If you make that in one trade, you have to do it 5 times over.
Gotcha. Next
So,
question was about
yeah.
trading during news. That was spoke about. You cannot trade 5 minutes before or after high impact news. So that was clarified. How many payouts can be requested per month? First, for the first 42 days, you can't, so if you go to the instant funding, you can't make a withdrawal until 42 days from your first day of trading. And then after that, every 15 days, so twice a month, you can make withdrawals.
Yeah, it's every 15 days.
That is all the questions in the chat. If anybody else has any questions, definitely drop them in the chat, guys. We don't want to be on here too much longer. I guess we'll do a hard stop here in about 7 minutes at 6 Eastern. So
Okay,
suppose I'm trading a small account, let's say 50K for the first 3 months, and I'm consistent. Then for the 4th month, will I be eligible for the 1 million funding? So that was already answered, guys.
Yeah. So I can clarify that again. No worries. So just to really clarify this with you guys, it's not with this $1 million funding, and this is the reason why we don't have it on our website, because it's not like a robotic system where it's by the book, where it's like, okay, you do this, you get $1 million, you do this, and you mark off the checkbox, you're guaranteed $1 million. It's more like, think of you're playing a sport and there's scouts in the stands. That's pretty much what it is. And if they like you, they take you. So it's not. It's if we see that you had a few good trades and then you enter 0.1 lot size for 4 months just to get to that $1 million funding, there's no way we'll entrust you with millions of dollars, because all that money is going to be real, right? Especially of our investors' money. It's literally just a manual review process, and with each withdrawal, because there's going to get to a point where there's going to be so many traders, it's just impossible for us to keep track of every single one's trading activity manually. It'll have to be done via software. So every withdrawal a person makes, I'll be looking into the record. Okay, is this their 3rd or 4th withdrawal? Let's see some of their stats on their trades, etc., etc. If I like what I see, then I'll have either me or somebody else that I work closely with at the hedge fund reach out to them. We'll get an interview going, come to an agreement, and then that's when they get started on the process. So it's not some sort of like I said, mark the checkbox system. It's more just, if we like you, we take you. I just say, if you do these things, there's an extremely high chance of us reaching out to you about that. Or you can reach out to us, and then you'll actually have a track record to show for and say, look what I've done.
All right. Next question was, when we get paid every 15 days, all right, it has been, very brutal waiting on payouts from other new firms.
Yeah.
He says, will we get our payouts on time or 30 days after, which is what has been for
okay.
some firms.
Well, just to clear the air, guys, like if you've ever been told by a firm, hey, like, this payout's taken 20 days to process, obviously that's a straight up lie, and they're just trying to buy more time, because these guys are essentially running a Ponzi scheme if you really think about it. Just what they do, the standards they set is just so unrealistic, especially for being a new firm. So with us, this is why I said at the beginning, right, our rules are a bit tighter, because the math adds up. And this is why we'll be able to stick to our word, pay people out on time. Realistically, the longest it might take, maybe a day for somebody to review it, a day or 2 max. And then depending on your payment method, if it's crypto, it's same day. Bank wire might take 4 or 5 days to clear, 4 or 5 business days. So it's just dependent on, okay, when we see it, because our guys work on the weekdays, not over the weekend. So if you request a payout, let's say on Monday, we review it either that night or the night after. From there, we approve you, we issue the funds out, and then it takes however long it takes to get processed by the payout method you requested. So never will we be wanting to buy time to get more sign-up fees or whatever it may be by withholding people's payouts. That's where the brand relies. Firms can never come back from from being known as they take this long to pay out or they don't pay out at all. And like I said, I'd rather be known for being a bit of a hard ass at the start with the rules than being known for I'm chinsing people on their payouts, I'm coming up with violations that they've never committed, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So payouts will just take literally as long as they take, you know, however long your payout method takes, you know, and our team takes to review it, which shouldn't be more than 24 to 48 hours.
Good deal. Now, Johnny said first payout is 45 days, and then after that, bi-weekly. I remember it was 42 days. 42 or the 45 days?
It's 42. You'll be surprised how many times we kind of mix things up because there's a lot of rules and we're still human. But it is right now. It's set at 42. Yeah.
I just want to get a clarification. That's all. So I just want to make sure clarification. It could have been mixed up on my end as well. Yeah. So 42 days, guys, until if you go through the instant funding. If you go through regular funding and you don't go through instant funding, you go through phase 1, phase 2. But once you get the account, then it's standard 30 days for first payout, and then every 15 days or every bi-weekly. But 42, if you go through the instant funding. Next question was, if multiple people are approved for same account manager, is that okay, or can account manager only? So the account manager questions, guys, we're not going to talk about that now. Once we get, as he talked about, every account manager has their own custom settings and everything. So once we have ironed out the whole account management system, you know, for our team, if that's what we decide to do going forward, we will let you guys know what that looks like, who can be a part of it, and what all the rules are. So we won't be talking about account management as of right now.
And I saw somebody say, if you look good in your uniform, you'll get a call. Okay, that's not a question.
Minimum trade.
Minimum trade. Yeah. No, we don't have any minimum trading days or maximum trading days because, like I said, we're trying to focus on quality, and that's not the last thing I want to do is ever rush a trader or make him feel like, because it's just we're not seeing the real trader in his actual in his natural habitat. You know, if we're either rushing him or telling him, hey, you have to trade this amount of days. So no minimum trading days or maximum.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at any more questions.
None there. I mean, there's no more. We're at the hard stop now. So guys, this is it. Any more questions you guys have, put in the chats. We'll get answered for you. Samuel, Tim, Johnny, man, we want to appreciate you guys, you know, for you know, taking the time out to talk to the community, answer questions, you know, help everybody feel at ease. We'll definitely putting in for everybody else to be able to check out. We will we'll get the process started and look to have a group to start this Monday, you know, so that they can be, so that the following Monday, that, you know, everyone has a live account is ready to roll. Yeah.
Also, one thing I just wanted to add, if I didn't get your question or whatever, you guys come up with anyone's later on our website, there's a quick link to our Instagram and Discord. And on our Discord, I talk to people personally there. Like, I answer them personally. It's not my support staff pretending to be me or anything. It's actually me. So if you guys want to go on to there, I can answer any questions either, just on the spot.
Hey, we appreciate you guys, man. Definitely appreciate it.
For sure. Thanks for having us, Nathan. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, guys. Hey, this concludes our call, and we'll put out all the information, you know, for those who are wanting to sign up, you know, in the chats. Other than that, if you got any questions, you know, you can definitely get into the Discord, ask us in the chat. We'll get those questions answered for you. And if, hey, you guys already know the game plan. If you're gonna trade this weekend, because crypto still moves, make sure you trade responsibly. And I'll see you guys in the funny papers.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.